Hello, welcome to another episode of Inside TV. I'm your host, the one and only Professor Purba, and tonight we're gonna expand the world of management. And to do that, we also have a special guest tonight.
My name's Scott Hurst. I'm a manager and also a member of the band Eyes Open.
So, how long have you been a manager?
I've been a manager of the band for about 3.5 years.
3.5 years? Okay. And how many people are you over?
The core of the band is 4 people. There are also other auxiliary people,
Interesting. And how did you get that position?
Before I was doing music, I worked in production, film production, TV and film.
Oh, have you been a manager in that industry?
I've worked as an assistant director position.
What is management for you?
In film, you generally have a pretty large crew. You're dealing with a lot of people. With a band, because the numbers are smaller, it can be very personal, and it can be, it can get very passionate sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And what is a typical day as Eyes Open's manager? Yeah.
As far as organizing, gigs, getting things set up along those lines, it's a lot of email communication, it's a lot of phone communication. Mm-hmm. The fun part of the job is when we actually get to go out and I get to, work with the club owners.
We've been talking in class about Robert Katz's model of good traits for a leader or a manager.
Okay.
Yeah. And 3 of those traits that are needed are human skill, mm-hmm. technical skill, and conceptual skills.
Okay.
So along those 3 skills, what makes it important to you as the band manager?
For my particular function, probably the human skills. Any business endeavor, networking is pretty much everything. You also have to be very much aware of the technical aspect of just the organization, the needs of the organization, making sure that those are being met as well. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the conceptualizing the way that implementing whatever processes, whatever programs that you need in order to make those things happen. The more balance you can maintain, the more progress you actually get overall, because you're keeping your people happy, and as your people are happy, it's easier to implement your project.
So what do you feel or as your strength as an Eyes Open manager?
I'm pretty good at trying to keep track of the individual goals of the members of the band.
What do you think about your weakness?
Sometimes I'm a little bit impatient.
How do you adapt to other members?
First of all, getting to know the band members beyond just the music, but more as people, and that helps me to better understand them, their behavior, and what they want. And then, like I said, then I can help accommodate that as much as we can within the needs of the others as well. This is one of those kind of jobs that you just don't do unless it's something you really, really are passionate about. So,
can you tell us a little bit about the organizational structure of Eyes Open?
It depends on what we're doing. When it comes to songwriting, the flow's a little different. If we're going out for a show, again, the workflow's a little different.
Mm-hmm. I want to know more about the mission, the vision, and goals of Eyes Open.
While we have our goals, even if they're not specifically met, as far as the business side of things, we can still exist as a musical entity. Of course, other goals, like artistically, if we're not meeting the goals that we have there, or we're not artistically happy, then that's a different situation. How
do you actually motivate the other band members?
We're here because we want to be. So motivation generally doesn't become as much of an issue.
What are some of the things that you have to plan as Eyes Open manager?
Part is planning the show, what elements we're going to do, what kind of show we want to put on. Beyond that would be, planning when we do tours, and setting up travel plans, setting up, where we're staying, establishing the itinerary.
And how have you learned to conceptualize the things that you needed to plan?
Initially, the idea would come with the band, say, hey, we'll figure out when it's time to get out on the road. At that point, usually it's handed over to me to then set up the details.
what are some of the key things that you're looking for when interviewing or maybe auditioning is the right word for this particular business?
We actually get to play with the musicians as they come in, and it's very immediate as far as the chemistry.
My first question will be, what are some of the things that you do to show your or other band members appreciation?
In our case, the compensation and appreciation are probably two different things. We don't really do this because of the financial compensation at this point. It's more out of just the compensation comes
enjoyment that the members can.
Exactly.
Okay. Tell me more about the evaluation process of Eyes Open.
For us, the ultimate evaluation comes from audience, and if we have a good show, the audience definitely can feel it, and they let us know.
Because there's external evaluation that you guys have in the band, yeah?
Yeah, basically. I mean, we do, we evaluate ourselves as we prepare and plan for it, but the ultimate bottom line evaluation is the audience.
From the audience. Wow.
Yeah, and they're honest.
So could you tell or elaborate more about how you self-evaluate yourself?
As long as we are progressing forward and meeting goals and being able to, improve our show, that's really kind of the best evaluation.
At the end of that last question here, I want a student of mine that will elaborate more or summarize our discussion tonight.
Okay.
And his name is Purba, and we will actually going to his presence right now. So the interview that were made by Professor Purba and Scott Hurst as Eyes Open's manager has brought my peripheral understanding about band manager as a profession. His insights and that describes a lot of elements that are very complementary with class materials. Scott mentioned that his previous job requires mastery in organizational skill due to the job comprises working with large size group of people. This human skill has been Scott's advantage for his current job as a band manager that strongly depends on his social skill. For building and maintaining network, he uses the advantage of technology to reach more people and keep in touch with them. This means that the importance of maintaining network is on the same level with building network. And his typical day mostly includes planning out the entertainment, direction, and merchandise. In conjunction with Robert Katz's model, Scott's role as band manager can be seen from within the tree model, or the model tree skills aspect. Human skill is definitely can be seen with his personal interaction to the band and auxiliary members. Interaction with business folks is definitely different than to fans and to other members. Therefore, Scott used different human skill approach. This proves that the usage of human skill is very crucial in this area of responsibility. To personally know what a person wants and how they value things will raise our sympathy and understanding on how we should perform in order to satisfy both sides' personal goals. The next skill aspect from the CAT model is technical skill. Management often needs to have technical skill in order to communicate effectively with line workers and coordinate efforts. This can be seen from his effort to fulfill the organizational needs. This technical skill can also be perceived as part of extrinsic motivation. That is important because motivated employees tend to be more productive and energetic. Conceptual skill can be seen from his determination to make sure all the programs are being actualized. Robert Katz defines conceptual skill as understand on how each of the organization's components fit together in order to meet its goal and objectives. Throughout his effort to hone this task, he learned that balance equals progress. This means that when subjects involved in the organization are happy, they are easier to work with. When conducive working environment can be achieved, accomplishing goals are more attainable.
This has proved again his conceptual skills within his role as the band manager. Some of his strengths as the band manager are keeping track with individual goals and setting up the band as a vehicle to achieve them. This means that he has a solid human skill that comes from the knowledge and ability to work with people. Meanwhile, he claimed one of his weaknesses is being impatient. He wants to see faster progression and immediate result for the band. Impatient people may feel frustrated when their goals are not accomplished according to their schedules, no matter how unreasonable the program may be. This negative trait will only hurt human relationships and one's mental well-being. Appreciation can be comprehended as the response individuals can expect to receive as a result of their performance. It specifies the contributions expected from members and expresses values and norms to which those in the organization must conform. Although the band currently is not fully compensating its member financially, each member was granted personal gratification from the ability to express their self through music. So reward system itself are concerned with two major issues: performance and rewards. Performance includes defining and evaluating performance and providing employees with feedback, whereas rewards include bonus increases, salary increases, promotion, stock reward, and perks. The band reward system, mostly in the form of personal indulgence, it correlates with how they're internally motivated and evaluations and their evaluation system that uses fans as the main evaluator. Scott mentioned about his evaluation process, but what is it? Evaluation is a process that critically examines a program. Its purpose is to make judgments towards program, to improve the effectiveness, and to inform programming decisions. Managers can and should conduct internal evaluations to get information about their programs so that they can make sound decision about the implementation of those programs. In this case, Scott used external evaluation that mostly comes from fans' feedback. External evaluation is also used to answer questions about the program's long-term impact by looking at changes in demographic indicators such as global music trend and an inclination on personal music.